Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native English Podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Lucy. We're so happy you're here with us today. Whether you're listening while walking, driving, relaxing at home, or enjoying a cup of coffee, thank you for making us part of your English learning journey.
Today's topic is one that every English learner needs to master, talking about daily activities in English. It may sound simple, but this skill can help you in almost every conversation.
That's absolutely true. Think about it. When you meet someone for the first time, what do they usually ask? Questions like, what do you do every day? How is your day? Or what do you usually do after work? These questions are very common, and knowing how to answer them naturally can make you sound much more confident.
Many learners know hundreds of English words, but when someone asks, "Tell me about your daily routine," they suddenly don't know what to say. Does that sound familiar?
Don't worry if it does. You're not alone. Almost every English learner experiences this at some point. The good news is that today's episode will help you speak about your daily life in a clear, natural, and confident way.
Our goal isn't just to teach you vocabulary. We want you to understand how native and fluent speakers connect ideas in real conversations. By the end of this episode, you'll have useful expressions that you can use every single day.
And remember, learning English isn't about being perfect. It's about communicating. If people understand your message, you're already making progress. Every conversation is another step toward fluency.
Exactly. Imagine you're meeting a new friend at a language exchange event. They smile and ask, "So, what does a typical day look like for you?" Instead of giving a one-word answer, you'll be able to describe your day naturally and keep the conversation going.
That's the beauty of everyday English. You don't need difficult words or complicated grammar. Simple, clear sentences can create meaningful conversations.
Throughout today's episode, we'll talk about morning routines, work or school activities, free time, evening habits, and much more. We'll also share useful phrases that native speakers use every day.
Here's a quick tip before we continue. Don't just listen to this podcast. Pause it from time to time and repeat our sentences out loud. Speaking along with us helps your pronunciation, improves your confidence, and trains your brain to think in English.
That's one of the best learning habits. Even if you're alone, don't be afraid to speak. Your voice is one of your greatest learning tools.
Let's start with a simple question for everyone listening. Think about your morning today. What time did you wake up? What was the first thing you did? Did you make breakfast? Did you go to work, school, or stay at home? Try answering these questions in English, even if your sentences are short.
That's a great exercise because real communication starts with your own life. The more you talk about things you actually do, the more natural your English becomes.
Here's another important point. Many learners memorize long vocabulary lists, but forget to practice everyday expressions like, I get up early, I have breakfast, I catch the bus, or I usually finish work at 5. These simple sentences are the foundation of everyday conversations.
And don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every fluent speaker has made thousands of mistakes while learning. The difference is that they kept practicing instead of giving up.
Exactly. Progress comes from consistency, not perfection. If you practice just a little every day, you'll be surprised by how much your English improves over time.
So here's today's challenge. As you listen to each part of this episode, imagine you're talking with a friend. Don't just hear the words. Say them, feel them, and make them your own.
We're excited to learn with you today. Grab your notebook if you like taking notes. Relax and enjoy the conversation. In the next section, we'll begin with one of the most common topics in English, your morning routine.
Let's get started.
Stay with us, and let's make English a natural part of your daily life.
Good. Now let's move on to one of the most common topics in everyday English, your morning routine. People often ask questions like, what time do you usually wake up? Or how do you start your day? These simple questions are great conversation starters, and today we'll show you how to answer them naturally.
That's right. Tom, let me ask you the first question. What time do you usually wake up?
I usually wake up at around 6:30 in the morning. I like getting up early because it gives me enough time to prepare for the day without feeling rushed. I don't enjoy waking up at the last minute. When I have a calm morning, I feel more focused and positive for the rest of the day.
I completely understand. I'm very similar. I normally wake up at 7 a.m. The first thing I do is open my window and take a deep breath. Fresh air helps me feel awake, and it gives me a little energy before I even leave my bedroom.
That's a lovely habit. After I get out of bed, I make my bed right away. It only takes a minute, but it makes my room look tidy and helps me feel organized. Then I brush my teeth, wash my face, and take a quick shower.
My routine is almost the same. After getting ready, I head to the kitchen to make breakfast. I don't like skipping breakfast because I know I'll feel hungry later. Most mornings, I eat eggs, toast, and some fruit. And of course, I can't start my day without a cup of coffee.
I know that feeling. I'm definitely a coffee person too. While I'm drinking my coffee, I usually check the news or read a few emails. I try not to spend too much time on my phone because I want to start my day with a clear and relaxed mind.
That's a smart idea. Many people check social media as soon as they wake up, but sometimes it makes them feel stressed before the day has even started. I prefer listening to soft music or planning what I need to do during the day.
Here's a useful phrase for our listeners. I usually. For example, I usually wake up at 6. I usually have breakfast at home. I usually walk to work. This expression is perfect when you're talking about your daily habits.
And if something doesn't happen every day, you can say sometimes. For example, sometimes I oversleep. Sometimes I skip breakfast because I'm in a hurry. These small words make your English sound much more natural.
Now it's your turn, everyone. Pause the podcast for a moment and answer these 3 questions in English. What time do you wake up? What is the first thing you do? What do you usually eat or drink in the morning? Don't worry about being perfect. Just speak from your heart.
Remember, your morning routine is unique because it's your story. The more you practice talking about your real life, the easier English becomes. You're not memorizing sentences anymore. You're expressing yourself.
Great job! In the next part, we'll continue our day and talk about what happens after we leave home, including work, school, and afternoon activities. Stay with us because there's still a lot more useful English to learn.
Now that we've talked about our morning routines, let's continue with the next part of the day. After breakfast and getting ready, most people leave home for work, school, or other daily responsibilities. This is another topic that comes up in everyday English conversations.
That's true. Lucy, how do you usually get to work?
I usually drive to work because it's the fastest option. It takes me about 20 minutes, but if there's heavy traffic, it can take much longer. Instead of getting frustrated, I like listening to podcasts or relaxing music during the drive. It helps me start the day with a positive attitude.
That sounds nice. I usually take the bus. At first, I thought it was a waste of time, but now I actually enjoy it. I often read a book, review my schedule, or simply look out the window and think about my plans for the day. Sometimes a quiet bus ride is the perfect way to prepare for work.
What does a normal workday look like for you?
My day is usually busy, but I enjoy it. I answer emails, attend meetings, work on different projects, and talk with my coworkers. Every day is a little different, which keeps things interesting. Of course, there are challenging moments, but solving problems is part of learning and growing.
I feel the same way. Some days are very productive, while others are more difficult. When I have a lot of work, I try to stay organized by making a to-do list. Crossing tasks off my list gives me a sense of achievement and keeps me motivated.
That's a great habit. And for our listeners who are students, your routine might be different. You might attend classes, take notes, work on assignments, or study in the library. No matter what you do, you can describe your day using simple English.
Exactly. For example, you can say, I have classes from 9 to 3, or I usually study in the afternoon. These are natural sentences that native speakers use every day.
Around lunchtime, I like taking a short break. I usually eat something light and chat with my coworkers. It's a nice opportunity to relax, laugh, and forget about work for a little while. Short breaks help me return to work with more energy.
I couldn't agree more. Sometimes we become so busy that we forget to rest. Even a 10-minute break can improve your focus. During my lunch break, I enjoy going for a short walk if the weather is nice. Fresh air always makes me feel refreshed.
Here's some useful vocabulary for everyone listening. Commute, meeting, deadline, coworker, assignment, project, break, schedule, and lunch break. Try using these words when you talk about your own day. They are very common in everyday conversations.
Now we'd like to give you another speaking challenge. Imagine someone asks, what do you usually do in the afternoon? Try answering in 3 or 4 sentences. You could talk about your job, your classes, your hobbies, or anything else you normally do. The important thing is to keep speaking.
Remember, fluency doesn't come from memorizing hundreds of difficult words. It comes from using simple English again and again until it feels natural. Every conversation is practice, and every sentence helps you become more confident.
You're doing an amazing job. Keep listening, keep speaking, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. In the next section, we'll talk about our evening routines, relaxing after a busy day, and the activities we enjoy before going to bed.
We've talked about our mornings and our afternoons, so now it's time for one of my favorite parts of the day, the evening. After a busy day at work or school, everyone looks forward to going home and relaxing. Lucy, what do you usually do when you get home?
The first thing I do is change into comfortable clothes. It may sound like a small thing, but it helps me feel relaxed immediately. Then I take a few minutes to sit down, drink a glass of water, and take a deep breath. After a busy day, I like giving myself a little time to slow down before doing anything else.
I do something very similar. When I get home, I usually put my phone away for a while. I spend so much time looking at screens during the day that I enjoy taking a short break from technology. Sometimes I simply sit by the window and enjoy the quiet. Those peaceful moments help me clear my mind.
After that, I usually start preparing dinner. Cooking has become one of my favorite hobbies. I like trying new recipes, but on busy days, I prefer making something simple and healthy. While I'm cooking, I often listen to music or a podcast. It makes the kitchen feel warm and relaxing.
I enjoy cooking too, although I'm not as creative as you are. My favorite meals are usually easy to prepare. After dinner, I like cleaning the kitchen right away because I don't want to leave everything until the next morning. It feels good to finish the day with a clean house.
Many people also like spending time with their families in the evening. They talk about their day, watch a movie together, play games, or simply enjoy each other's company. These simple moments may not seem special, but they often become our happiest memories.
That's very true. Sometimes we think happiness comes from big achievements, but it often comes from small daily moments. Sharing dinner with family, laughing with friends, or having a quiet conversation can make an ordinary evening feel wonderful.
In my free time, I also enjoy reading books. Reading helps me relax and learn something new at the same time. On weekends, I sometimes watch a movie or my favorite TV series, but I try not to stay up too late because getting enough sleep is very important.
Speaking of sleep, I have a simple evening habit that really helps me. Before going to bed, I spend a few minutes thinking about my day. I ask myself, what went well today, and what can I do better tomorrow? It helps me stay positive and continue improving little by little.
That's a wonderful habit. I also like planning for the next day before I go to sleep. I write down my most important tasks, so when I wake up, I already know what I need to do. It saves time and reduces stress in the morning.
Here's some useful vocabulary for our listeners. Relax, prepare dinner, spend time with family, watch a movie, do the dishes, read a book, go for a walk, and go to bed. These are everyday expressions that you'll hear in many English conversations.
Now it's your turn. Think about your own evening routine. What do you usually do after work or school? Do you cook dinner? Do you exercise? Do you watch YouTube, read a book, or spend time with your family? Try answering these questions in English using complete sentences.
Remember, the goal isn't to speak quickly. The goal is to speak clearly and naturally. The more you describe your real life, the more confident you'll become. Every sentence you practice today will make tomorrow's conversation a little easier.
We hope you're enjoying today's episode and learning new expressions along the way. In our final section, we'll put everything together with a complete daily routine conversation, give you a fun speaking challenge, and share a few final tips to help you speak English with confidence every single day.
Welcome to the final part of today's episode. If you've been listening from the beginning, you've already learned how to talk about your morning, your work or school, and your evening routine. Now it's time to put everything together and practice speaking naturally.
That's right. Remember, English isn't something you only study. It's something you use. The more you talk about your own life, the more confident you'll become. So let's have one final conversation that sounds like two friends catching up after a busy week.
Hi, Lucy. It's great to see you again. So how have you been?
I've been doing really well, thanks. It's been a busy week, but a good one. I've been trying to wake up earlier and spend less time on my phone in the morning. Surprisingly, it has made a big difference. I feel calmer, more focused, and I have more energy throughout the day.
That's fantastic. I've been working on a similar habit.
Instead of checking social media first thing in the morning, I drink a cup of coffee and read a few pages of a book. It helps me start the day with a clear mind instead of feeling distracted.
I think that's something many people can relate to. Small daily habits may not seem important, but over time, they can completely change your life. Improving your English works the same way. You don't need to study for 5 hours every day. Even 20 or 30 minutes of focused practice can lead to amazing results.
Exactly. Consistency is much more powerful than perfection. Some days you'll feel confident, and other days you'll make mistakes. That's completely normal. Don't let one bad day stop you from continuing your journey.
And here's our biggest piece of advice. Speak English every single day. Talk to yourself while you're cooking. Describe what you're doing while walking. Or tell the story of your day before you go to bed. These simple exercises train your brain to think in English naturally.
Let's finish today's episode with a speaking challenge. We'd like you to describe your entire day in English. Start with the moment you wake up. Tell us what you do in the morning, what happens during your work or school day, how you spend your afternoon, and what you usually do in the evening before going to bed.
Don't worry if you forget a word. Use another word. Explain your idea differently, and keep talking. Real communication isn't about using perfect vocabulary. It's about sharing your thoughts with confidence.
Before we say goodbye, we'd like to thank every one of you for spending your time with us today. We know that learning a new language takes patience and dedication, and we're honored to be part of your journey. Every episode you listen to and every sentence you practice brings you one step closer to fluency.
We're proud of you for showing up today. Maybe you understood every word, or maybe you only understood most of the conversation. Either way, you made progress, and that's what truly matters. Keep believing in yourself, keep practicing, and never compare your journey with someone else's.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to come back for our next podcast, where we'll continue helping you build your English through real conversations, useful vocabulary, and practical speaking practice.
Until next time, take care of yourself, keep smiling, and remember that every great English speaker was once a beginner. Your future self will thank you for the effort you're making today.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Lucy.
Thank you for listening to Native English Podcast. Have a wonderful day, keep speaking English every day, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.